It's 2024 and I still kind of don't know how to do my makeup, but I'm trying to learn. So I'm going to start by moisturizing my face with some Cetaphil. Cetaphil. Next, I'm going to start by spraying setting spray on my skin. I found that I have less creases when I do this. Now I'm going to dry off my eyebrows so that the product that I put on there doesn't slip off. So on my brows, I'm going to be using the Infallible Brows Brow Lamination by L'Oreal Paris. And I've been liking this so far. I've found that my brows can be pretty stiff. Using this product, it could probably be a little bit more stiffer, but as a beginner, it's cool. Now I'm going to go in with the color corrector by Huda Beauty. This is their faux filter corrector in the shade Mango. And I'm going to use this to kind of cover up my hyperpigmentation because I have a lot of that. So I'm just using that to kind of, I guess, like blur out my hyperpigmentation. Now I'm going in with the Faux Filter Concealer, also by Huda Beauty, and this is going to be in the shade Caramel Corn. And I'm going to use this to also hide my hyperpigmentation. So I'm going to put a little bit extra of this on because these dark marks like to show, okay? So I'm just going to use this to cover it up. So now that it's all blended up, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. And this is going to be in the shade Deep Glow. I like to use this underneath my makeup because it gives me a bit of a shiny bronze finish and I like the glow that it gives me. This also helps act as like a little, concealer for my hyperpigmentation, but overall I like the glowy effect that it gives me underneath my makeup. Now I'm going to go in with my Makeup Forever foundation. This is the HD Skin, and this is the shade 4Y60. I'm not really sure about the coverage of that. That's still a new foundation for me, and I'm still learning how to use it. So I'm going to go in with my old trusty Velvety Matte Foundation by Juvia's Place, and this is going to be in the shade Rio 430. I love Juvia's Place foundation. I just feel like the coverage is way better than any of the other ones that I've used. But I'm not going to give up on the Makeup Forever. I'm going to try it again a little later. Looks like I missed a spot, so I'm about to go in with some more Juvia's Place foundation. Cover that up. See that coverage? I love that coverage. Now I'm going to go with my Juvia's Place, the Saharan Blush Volume 2 palette. And this is a kind of a orangey pinkish blush. And I like using this one. This is like one of my favorite blushes to use. Not really orange, not really pink, not really purple. It's like somewhere in the middle. So I'm going to go in with this. The girl's been putting blush on the tip of their nose, so I'm going to do it too. Now it's time for concealer. I don't always put liquid concealer under my eyes because I just find that it makes it crease, but hey, I'm trying to learn better techniques. So I'm going to be using a Faux Filter Concealer by Huda Beauty, and this is in the shade Caramel Corn. I also use this to cover up the hyperpigmentation on my skin, so I'm just using it under eyes. Now I'm blending it in. Okay, I'm going for a bright under eye, so I'm using the Huda Beauty Peach Pie Easy Bake Powder, and this is their loose baking and setting powder. Now, when I first got this, it was a whole bunch of powder sitting on top of the little tray part that kind of filters it out. But now that I done used the powder that was in that part, it's like I kind of keep fluffing it for the product to come out. And again, maybe I'm just using it wrong, but I found this really annoying because I wanted more powder on the applicator, but I couldn't get the more powder out. So I'm going to figure this out. For eyeshadow, I'm going to be going in with my Huda Beauty palette. This is the Empowered palette. And for the base, I'm going to be using the color Legacy. That's going to be my base shadow color. And I kind of want to give it some depth. So I'm going to go in with the color Power over on top. Power is kind of like a nude color. So I just kind of want to add this on top. I don't really know what look I was going for. Maybe I should have watched an eyeshadow tutorial, but this is what I was doing. Now we're getting to the good stuff. For mascara, I'm going to use Better Than Sex. I don't care what nobody says. This is like the best mascara I've ever used, and I'm so loyal to it. I could potentially be open to trying new mascaras, but for now, this is the one I always use. My only thing is, and my pet peeve of myself, is that I need to start using a mascara guard, because every time I put mascara on, I mess up my eyeshadow, and then I gotta go put more eyeshadow on, and then I gotta put more mascara on, and then it's like a whole big mess. And at the end of the day, the mascara is still on top of the eyeshadow. So yeah, we're gonna get that together. I might have to buy a mascara guard. So as you can see, I messed up my mascara, so I'm just going back over it with the eyeshadow brush just to cover up the mascara parts. So now I'm using a fluffy brush and I'm just wiping away the excess powder. And I don't see any creases, y'all. I don't see any creases. I'm just going in, blending it in, bloop, 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 bloop. And it didn't give me as bright of an under eye as I wanted. And that's probably my fault. So I don't know if y'all remember what I was saying before about the applicator of the peach pie. So I just went in with a brush and I just put the brush on top. And that's what I'm using to go under my eye with. So now I'm just going to go back in with my Juvia's Place blush and add some more of that to my cheeks and the tip of my nose, since the loose baking powder kind of made it lose itself. Now I'm going in with the highlighter from Wet n Wild. This is the Golden Flower Crown shade. I'm just going to put this in the corners of my eye and the tips of my nose. Here I'm just blending it in. So right here, I did not like how the blush was looking on the side, and I realized I had overdid it and it wasn't blended in correctly. So I low-key had a panic attack and started freaking out a little bit. So that brush wasn't working, so I used a different brush. This was a clean brush and it still wasn't doing what I needed it to do. So then I decided to go back in with the sponge. I was like, maybe I can erase a little bit of the blush and then kind of blend it in better from there. So I feel like it helped a little bit, but yeah. So now I'm going in with the Huda Beauty Lip Contour Duo, and this one's gonna be in the shade Rich Brown. Oh my God, this was so silky and soft going in, and of course I'm making a mess, but I loved how this felt on my lips. And I also like how you can just like turn the bottom part and like the stick comes up. I don't have to sharpen it or anything, but this is just so like buttery and soft and smooth. And you know, sometimes with lip liners, you kind of gotta force it on there a little bit, but this goes on pretty easy and it just like glides on. Like, I love this. So I'm just using my Q-tip to kind of clean up the parts that I overlined, and yeah. Now for lips, I'm going to be using the Faux Filler by Huda Beauty, and I'm going to be using the shade Honey. And this is like a creamy gloss, and I don't like to put too much of this on my lips. I don't like to put too much. I don't like to put enough. And then to go in and make my lips a bit more glossy, I'm going to be using the Beauty Supply Store Broadway Vita Lip Peach Lip Gloss, just to put like a clear gloss on top. And I'm going to put it on my fingers and apply it so I don't put any like color on the applicator. Now I'm just gonna go in with my Q-tip and get any like excess from the inside with the setting spray, and this is my final look. How did I do?